To moisture-proof a low-cost security camera, you have to avoid the warranty, take it apart, add protection, and then reassemble it. This is the $20 indoor Wyze Cam. It works on Wi-Fi, has an app to view live video, has AI to detect motion, and can even store video locally. Let's start by trying to waterproof the lens using black electrical tape. We don't know this now, but this is pointless. So, let's begin taking this thing apart. This is where the fun begins. Seems simple, just takes 2 screws out, and then something's meant to happen. What's going on? Not quite sure. Maybe if I rotate it this way. Looks like there's an edge that, oh wait, you know what that looks like? Wait, but, let's dig in there now. Let's get a little flathead screwdriver. Oh no, let's take out the SD card because, you know, we don't want to break that. Let's use a little pair of lame-ass tweezers to pull that out. Okay, so now we've decided we're safer. Let's take a little closer look here. Let's twist that around. Oh, I think we need a flathead, so let's find an appropriate flathead. No, we've decided to take the base off because maybe the screw that's on the surface is preventing us from taking the back off. Where is that screw? Alright, we're going to punch that through there. This part is just unnecessary, but you know, we're going to edit it anyway. And there are those tweezers again. I don't know why, but you know, they're fun to use. Alright, it's time to change the music track and get back to this. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and we haven't yet figured out how to open this thing. We're just kind of rotating it, waiting for inspiration. No, wait, we're trying something for mail. Alright, let's see where this goes. Okay, take this little flathead screwdriver and stick it in there. Try not to break the plastic. Wait, we found something? That might lift up, so let's try this side. And, oh! We've managed to flip the top off a little bit. Let's rotate it to the other side, and we're almost there. Oh, look at that. It came off. Let's just hold on by some clips after we remove those screws. Ooh, what's that? Oh, that's some dielectric grease we used. Don't know why I'm showing it, but there we go. Alright. Now we're looking into the guts of it, and now we're going to have to figure out how long it's gonna take us to do this. Take a look at some more. Rotate it. Look inside. Look in the back. Okay. It's getting sort of painful, so what we're gonna do is just gonna explain it to you. On the sides of this back plastic piece are 2 tabs. You gotta kind of get your screwdriver in there, pull it apart, and the top will come off. And then you can remove the inner assembly, so why don't we just fast forward to that. Oh, what's going on here? I think we got it. Let's see. Yep, just stick it in there, jam it, and pop. There goes one side. Stick it in there, jam it, pop. There goes the back. Alright, we're getting somewhere. That little thing on the right there is the speaker. We don't really care about that. It's going to be hard to waterproof or even moisture proof, so we're just going to remove it. Since we already know what the next task is going to be, we're just going to skip to that as well, which is removing the Wi-Fi antenna. can kind of see it there. It's that little gold thing at the bottom. Alright, now we move that out of the way. You'll see that that antenna is glued to the side there, and its cord is a little difficult spot to get this out. Now we're going to try and find the right screwdriver to get the screw out. Nope, that didn't work. Now we're trying a little slightly larger one, and yep, that worked. And now we're going to pull the whole assembly out. Try not to damage anything, and remember that black tape? Well, that stuck the lens. Now we're just trying to slide it past the antenna. You can see it's kind of hanging on there, and it's out. Now we're just taking a look at things, trying to get oriented, finding the screws, etc., etc. Look at those cables and see how things are connected. Now we're just going to take that little power cable out and start disassembling the 3 PCBs. Again, going for that slightly larger screwdriver, and it's sort of working. But we're getting a little strip out there, so I think we're going to stop here, and then we're going to switch to a larger one. Oh yeah. Alright, there we go. Larger one, that's a fine point. By the way, that's a Klein Tools screwdriver. This is my favorite larger screwdrivers. And since the rest of this is pretty much self-explanatory, we're going to speed it up. While this is going on, just going to prep you for what's going to happen now. So, we're taking this stuff apart, and then we're going to prep some paintbrush and a couple other tools just so they're ready to go. What we're going to be using, it's called Corrosion X, and it comes in a red can. This stuff is world-renowned for protecting electronics in ocean spray, salt water, various other things. That's it sprayed into a cup. You can spray it from the can, but of course that would go everywhere. Kind of looks like green vomit. But, just spray it in a can. Make sure to shake it well, by the way. And then just start liberally applying it to all the PCBs. You'll notice later that we're going to put it on the camera. But that's, you just got to be careful. You don't want to get it on the lens. You don't want to get it underneath the lens, which is the most sensitive part of the camera, onto the sensor. But it's 20 bucks, and so that's why we're doing this. You're going to note that I am putting it literally everywhere. The stuff does not react with PCBs. At first I was thinking about keeping those cables in their place and just putting it on it, but then, as you can see, I just decided to remove them and coat it and reapply them. This stuff is non-conductive, and the only thing it really has an issue with are things like microphones. I don't really care about the microphone so much in this camera. In addition to that, you shouldn't put it on other sensors like temperature or pressure sensors, things of that sort. It doesn't like it. For those of you who may have had experience with drones, this stuff doesn't seem to go well with some of the other electronics, so be careful of that as well. If you look up flight test, you'll find lots of information about them using this stuff in conjunction with other materials to waterproof some drones. So go check that out, flight test. Here we're just going to continue doing the same thing, basically getting it everywhere, including on the sides of the PCBs, because we don't want water to be able to soak into the PCB material. Who knows what quality it is. It seems to be high quality. In fact, everything about this camera seems to be high quality, even for the price point. There's no particularly sloppy soldering or anything like that. There may have been some handwork done, which is evident early on, but beyond that, it looks like everything's automated. You can can see here, having a hard time remembering exactly how everything went back together, and that was the only cut we've done in the show, which is to take a few minutes and figure it out, and then come back to filming. And this is just the reassembly. So let's let this go for a second, and then we'll come back in a minute when everything's done and recap. At this point of the reassembly, I'd realized that the oil, or the Corrosion X, was all over my fingers. It was all over everything. But there was no point in continuing to try and pretend that it wasn't getting everywhere, so I just got sloppy and did everything. Every chance I get, anything small, I reapply the Corrosion X, and here we are snapping everything back together. You'll see I'll do a bit of cleaning in a minute. But the thing went back together very well. No loose fittings. Everything's great. For 20 bucks, I gotta say this is quite an amazing camera, especially for the features and functionality. And there it is. There's our little black piece of tape, which turned out to be pretty much useless. Cleaning here, I'm using a combination of alcohol display screen cleaner, which is kind of like the light version of Windex. It does really a good job at removing grease and stuff and grime, but it's not as aggressive as Windex. Here we go, just cleaning it up. It's great to get off your fingers. There it is, just spending a lot of time here cleaning up that lens. Maybe in the future I'll take the time and actually seal the lens there, but as it is, I'll just leave it for now. And that's it. Looking for the blinking lights. See, that one's orange and blue. That means it's hit the Wi-Fi. Then just take a look, and there you go, blue light. It's on the Wi-Fi. There's the Corrosion X we used, and that is it.